All right, let's talk about Project Hail Mary some more. Now, let me explain what this video is because it's not normal for me. Essentially, why I'm making this video is because I saw Project Hail Mary on a Monday night Amazon Prime early access IMAX screening. I loved the movie so much. I did my review. I went again opening weekend because the movie refused to leave my mind. And I saw it again a third time today, and I will definitely end up seeing it a fourth time. So I don't usually do spoiler reviews, and the main reason why is because I don't like to hold your hand. We live in the age of the internet. I am not going to sit here and be one of those reviews where this movie's directed by blah 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 and this movie stars blah blah blah. It's like, but bitch, I have fucking Google. If I need to know that, I can just Google it. I just want to tell you what I thought of the movie in my own words, almost like a fresh out of the theater or hey, I just sat down to record kind of vibe. That is how my videos work. That is the way they are. You can like that, not like that. I really don't give a shit. This is how I choose to make videos. But also, part of that style is I don't like to do the here's my Marvel review spoiler free. No, if you're gonna watch a Marvel movie, you're gonna fucking watch it. So I'm not gonna do the non spoiler review. I'm gonna do the spoiler review. But with this movie, a very odd thing happened to me where I have just wanted to see this movie multiple times. I'll be honest, I don't go to see a lot of movies multiple times in the theater, mostly because I am always in the search of the new and the old. I want to watch new movies I haven't seen before. I also want to see old movies I haven't seen. I also want to rewatch things. And so I'm constantly watching new and old things all the time, trying to find that balance in between. It doesn't really give me a lot of time to go to the theater and rewatch things. Plus, I work, I have a job, I have family responsibilities, I have things that normal people have going on. So, you know, I just kind of want to explain all that. I know that was a little long winded, but that's what this video is. But yeah, this video is going to be a spoiler review for the movie, talking about a lot of the major twists with this movie. I did read the book. I didn't. I don't think it. I don't know if I stated that in my original review. I think it did, but I don't know if I did. And I didn't really talk about it very much because it isn't relevant to me. Like the book is a great book, but the experience of watching this movie is not the same as the experience of reading the book. You should read the book. It's good. But I knew a lot of things going into this movie, but I was still shocked the way they were handled in this movie. I guess I'll start with the first thing I really noticed in the second viewing of this movie that I didn't notice. Basically, when you start this movie, Dr. Ryland Grace is on the spaceship alone. And you are waiting for him to figure out why he's here, and you're kind of figuring it out with him. But I think the flashback sequences hit a lot harder the second viewing. And the reason why I say that is because once you know the first time the reason he's actually in space and you see all that stuff, some of the things that hint to what happens in those flashback sequences are more meaningful. Like, for example, in the beginning, the first act of the movie is a little bit slow because you're like, it's just Ryan Gosling trying to figure out what's going on. And but the sequence where he sends all the astronauts who died off into space and he's looking at pictures and experiences and things that they have been through, that sequence hit a lot harder and actually made me a lot more teary-eyed the second and third time I watched this movie, because there's a part in one of the flashback sequences you find out later in the movie where you see Grace talk to one of these astronauts, and he says, I admire you. I wish I had the bravery gene that you did. I would just choose not to go at all. And he goes, oh, it's not a gene. You just have to find someone to be brave for. And so when you see him sending off all those astronauts and he's talking about how they're well loved and connected with people, it really, you can see in his mind how Grace is probably thinking about himself, and how he, in a way, he didn't fully have all of his memories back, but he also knows that at the end of this, he is alone. Not just on the spaceship, but on Earth, and just in general, in his whole life, he's been alone. And then you also get later revelations about his relationship that failed, things like that. And a lot of that stuff hit so much harder for me the second time watching it, that it just made the whole thing a lot more powerful. And I thought that was really, really amazing stuff. And I thought the part that really got me with this movie is that I can't believe actually happened, is the twist of Ryan Gosling and how he got into space. Because in a normal movie, this just would have been a heroic guy who chose to go on this mission. But he did not choose to go on this mission. They include a scene where he is drugged and thrown onto the spaceship against his will, and yet the only fucking survivor. And I thought that was cool and really profound, because, you understand why everybody did what they did, and they actually believe in Ryan Gosling's character of Dr. Grace and what he was able to do. I thought that was so powerful. I mean, I feel like some studio executive probably did come in with notes and was like, don't do this. This is a bad idea. But they chose to do it anyways. And I thought that was amazing. I just didn't expect it to happen in this movie. And I also thought that, people had told me before I read the book, don't watch the second trailer, they spoil something big like Rocky. I don't think it really ruined the movie for me, knowing about Rocky in this movie. I think it really works if you don't know, but I was fine with it. Rocky's a great character. I really like all that, and I had a lot of great humor. What I thought was shocking to me was the actual ending where Ryan, or I keep going between Grace and Ryan, but whatever. Grace has to go back and save Rocky, but the way this movie ends on a note of you don't ever really know if he ever actually truly gets back to Earth. I mean, they talk about him going back to Earth, but I don't know. I thought this movie was really an amazing movie that I really don't think there's anything like it. There's just so many great sequences in this movie. The one where he's just having that moment. I also love the karaoke scene where she starts singing Sign of the Times, because you can tell that she's singing that song to Ryan Gosling. And Ryan is seeing himself in that song, but she has to stop herself and remember that she has a job to do. And I thought all of this movie, there's just so many. I think this movie has so much brilliant acting in it, where you just you could read so much into Ryan Gosling's performance and so many other actors' performances in this movie. And it really is a movie that benefited from multiple viewings. And I cried at multiple points in this movie. I think this is one of the best movies I've seen in the last 20 years. And I really don't say that lightly. I don't get excited about new movies like this, because I think people who get excited about new movies are a little dumb. And I say that because you don't really know what a movie's going to be like in 20 years from now or a few years from now. But this movie is a movie that I only see aging better with time, and me seeing it multiple times. I honestly believe this is in my top 10 favorite movies now. And I've only seen it 3 times. That does not happen for me. But it's really true. I fucking love this movie. I bawled my eyes out for 20 minutes. Absolutely love this.